Greetings, programs! Welcome back to Crusader Kings 2. I thought it was about time. Now, the last video was a bit of a monster, but if you watched my mouse video, my last video of World of Tanks, you'll know that with my new editing software, it's added a bit of time in terms of doing these ones where I just record everything live. So I'm probably never going to do an hour-long video again because the transcoding time would be fairly horrendous. But I did have a brainwave. I can basically use the as it's transcoding, I can sit down and do the editing with the Bandicam output. So that gets everything in the right place. And then what I do is I just use I just drop in the transcoded files after they're done, and hey presto, I can just render. So that saves me a bit of time, but it still is not the fastest process. So we left off with a minor war going on down in Wales between my ally, my wife, in fact, and the Count of Glamorgan. So we're going to help wrap that up. We're also trying to consolidate. I could actually, I mean, I talked about it, I could just do a de jure claim on Tyrconnell, but I'm going to actually fabricate a claim so I can give somebody the Duchy of Ulster with 2 provinces under their direct control, because Oriel itself is not going to have enough manpower, and neither of these provinces have the capability to build extra castle holdings or anything of that like. So yes, we'll also, just before I unpause it, have a quick look around. As you can see, Iberia, complete patchwork. Portugal's doing alright. Leon and Castile there. Barcelona. France seems to be doing okay for itself. Navarra has, I'm guessing, inherited Brittany. So that's rather interesting. They might be around a little while yet, although they're still hardly a major power. Flanders is currently independent of the Holy Roman Empire, as is Lombardy, as you can see there. And they're currently at war with some count or other. And Geneva's also broken free. And elsewhere, Byzantium looking alright. Croatia and Hungary. Croatia's doing alright for itself, actually. Cumania, Perm. There's nothing. Norway looks like the strongest power in the Scandinavian region still, actually. Normally Sweden's doing okay for itself. Although having said that, you know, Denmark's probably no slouch either. They control a decent amount of territory there. And then down in the Islamic lands, don't think there's been that much change really. Although Abyssinia still existing at this stage of the game, which is, I think it was in the last, were they having a civil war or something at that point? But yeah, Abyssinia usually doesn't last this long in my games. We're up to 1124 already. So we'll unpause, we'll get some boats going to embark this army. I'll just send my retinues down, I think. Now they could obviously do with some leaders, so we shall appoint some there, and I shall raise not all of my fleet levies, because that would be for 1500 we really don't need that many. So let's see, no, that's my manpower levy, that's not my fleet levy. We want raise ships, that's 19. I think that should be enough. And then we'll get these guys shipped down to Wales, because it seems like my wife might need the help. I'll actually speed things up slightly there. Now despite having inferior numbers, they obviously had a terrain advantage, so we'll just land the troops and then walk into Glamorgan. Or I could even attach the troops. The AI doesn't always let you attach the yeah, so I can set it so people can attach to my troops, at least I think I can, and in theory the AI can do the same, but the AI really rarely seems to actually give you that option, although it's easier in Crusader Kings 2. Not Crusader Kings, EU4 to do the whole troop attachment thing. Like the AI seems to use that option in EU4 a lot more than in this. So we're just waiting for troop morales to go back up, 100%. And we'll just march, and that AI army will probably follow. Probably. And then what I can do is I can march my troops out of there back onto the ship, and they can just siege away. Or else, if I march out, we'll. Are they marching? Oh, wow, they're marching with me. I was going to say, if I march out, surely. No, okay, I'll be the controller of this. I don't particularly want to be the controller of the siege, but anyway. So, an Edith event. Yes, these came up at the end of towards the end of the last play session. Your Chancellor Malise comes to you, a look of worry on his face. He explains there are increased grumblings among the nobles regarding the position of your protégée, Edith. So it's basically one of these. The court is, having unrest, but their own incompetence makes them envious. Well, that will annoy them. Force her to speak more humbly, and she'll lose prestige and probably won't like me as much. Bring her before me, and I shall knight her. Ha! Put her in chains. I'm actually going to go with that option. Yeah, why not? So she is now. We've got a whole Brienne of Tarth thing going on here, haven't we? So she's now got her own house. She still can't have any heirs because she's got that celibate trait. But no. Screw you, snobby nobles. Anyway, so that siege is going to go on. We'll actually speed things up a bit here. I'm aiming for about a half-hour video this time. That shouldn't tax my capabilities too much in terms of, time more than anything else. Time's the bigger factor here. Now, I was really hoping I could just march my troops out and they would then take control of the siege. But as it is, no. Oh, hello, pause, hello. Oh, what's going on here then? Ah, it's the English Civil War for seniority succession, led by the Duke of Kent. Can I offer to help them in some way? I'm actually quite used to with the Way of Life update, and in fact just that latest patch for CK2. You can right click and do a lot more stuff with just a right click, and I actually really like that. No, I can't offer him vassalization or anything. I mean, I can just straight up send him some money, but I don't think that will. Like, he's already got a fair amount. I can I could plot to assassinate the king. Oh, I could. I mean, it could backfire on me. But, if he dies, then they automatically win that war. House Caption Guy might not be in power anymore. Ooh. It will still exist, of course. But, right, we'll auto-invite plotters and put the speed down a bit. We'll see what comes up, what the plot power ends up being like. We'll just see how unpopular Caption Guy is, how many people want to see him dead. Huh, not that many so far. Oh, that's the wrong thing. How is he so popular? It's just not fair. So he's kind of wavering. If I give him a gift, maybe? Invite to plot, no. He's kind of even, so if I sent him a gift, 36 gold, and then invite to plot, still no. Damn it, some people don't have the decency to stay bribed. Yeah, now this might be a vain hope that this will actually go anywhere. Oh, we've added one more though, plot for nearly 50%. Maybe, I mean, it can still be carried off, but I think around about 100% is the ideal. The more plot power you have up to about 100%. It can still go wrong, but over 100% it just seems to increase the chance that somebody will blab and it'll all go horribly wrong. But in the middle of a civil war, hells yes. So this is oh, okay. Actually, let's see what the well, having a look. The Republic of Dumfries is doing. Let's see what the republics are doing generally. So, Pisa seems to be the. I keep forgetting every time the Company of the Hat. Yeah. So Pisa is the absolute dominant trade power, including some trade zones in the Levant. Interestingly, then Gotland, and then Dumfries. So hopefully, we'll actually take a quick look at the. You can see there, the economy map for Britain is actually all right. So, as a trading republic, this ought to make a decent amount of money. So, the war is won. I think it must have been a de jure claim because he's now just her vassal. So that's fine. I've increased her power a bit, and it's increased the bit of Wales that I will hopefully inherit. Is Kildare? Who are they? Ah, they're under Gwynedd. Okay, so take them back north. And we might jump ahead at this point because there's not a whole lot else going on. I'm really hoping that this will... Oh! I'm really hoping that this will... and so it does, just as I say that. Now that puts me in the negative as far as gold goes. But we're going to do it. Now, I can obviously get rid of those ships. I can also... borrow... Huh, that's available now apparently. Borrow from the Templars, they don't have that much. I can borrow 300 from Jewish merchants. I could just wait, basically. You can mouse over and see, and army morale suffers, and I think you get more realm negative events the longer it goes on, but it's not going to be that long for me to wait, to be honest, so we'll dismiss that fleet, we'll march them across, and we'll call the Chancellor. We'll actually have him improve relations with whichever of my vassals is being the most troublesome right now. I'll go by rank. Or if all my dukes are pretty... yeah, they're all right. Counts aren't in any imminent danger of rebelling. No, it's fine. Okay, we'll just keep the Chancellor at home for a bit then. So yeah, I'll fast forward a bit here. I think I will just wait it out rather than actually borrow money from the moneylenders, because I'm not that much in the red at the moment. So yeah, I shall see you very shortly. So there we go. That only really took a couple of months to clear that negative balance. So I can now declare war on this guy. And I can just do a straight up claim rather than a de jure claim, which is what I want. So, there we go, we're at war. And if I raise all of the armies, which will give me 3.5k. Yeah, we'll just raise all the vassal levies as well, which will make the war go a lot quicker. Actually, let's all rather than send them in piecemeal. No, that's a bad plan. Don't do that. Now, what's this costing me? Well, we'll know at the end of the month. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm still in the pink. We're still in a positive balance, so that's all right. Let's speed that up slightly. Get all those armies consolidated together. So, a thing happened today, by the way. I noticed on my Twitter feed that you are being followed by Paradox Development Studio. And actually clicking on their Twitter feed, I discovered that they're basically putting together a list of Let's Players for their forums that you can go and check out. So I'm on there now, apparently. Even though this is I've got a single solitary Paradox series going on, and it's this. It's nice though. I don't know, if you've come here from the Paradox forums, hello. I actually have had an account there for ages and ages, and it's one of the few places where I have an account that isn't PointyHairedJedi. It's like since 2010, and I've got like 7 posts. That's how often I use that. I mean, I've read a bunch of stuff on the forums. I've used the forum account much more for reading people's Let's Plays, basically. It's like after action reports is what they're called in the parlance of Paradox games, and it's basically either kind of Let's Plays where it's all typed up with screenshots, basically, or else some people do a full-on narrative, like they invent a whole story, and some of those are incredibly well written and incredibly entertaining. So if you like CK2, and you want to, you know, you're not philosophically opposed to reading stuff on a screen, then definitely go and check out the official forums and check out their after action reports section, because there's some very good entertaining stuff in there. And if you Google, you can probably find links to some of the more notable popular ones as well of years gone by. So yeah, I have to say, in terms of watching, I've watched little bits of people's CK2 and EU4 videos, but I actually prefer reading stuff like after action reports. But there are people out there who, of course, are perfectly willing to watch these things and find them entertaining, and that's you people right now watching this thing. So yeah, I have fun playing this, you have fun watching it, so it's a win-win situation. Actually, Scott Manley, he of Kerbal Space Program, he seems to have recently gotten into CK2 in a really big way as well. He started putting up kind of like hour-long play sessions, and he's just kind of learning his way through the game, basically. But he mentioned in one of his recent KSP videos, because he does maneuvers in his current series, Interstellar Quest, which take kind of like days of in-game time to complete. So he has discovered, and I kind of do this sometimes as well, that he can have CK2 playing, you know, he can play it in the foreground whilst Kerbal Space Program is playing and recording in the background. And I actually, because CK2 doesn't use that many system resources to actually run, I will sometimes, if I'm rendering a particularly long video, sometimes I'll go and watch stuff online, because obviously rendering doesn't affect my internet speeds at all, but other times I will actually fire up CK2, and I can't really play it beyond the speed that we're at now, and it does run a little more choppily, but it uses few enough system resources that it's a nice game to play while you have other things doing. And it's probably good enough that, you know, it doesn't take up that many resources, that it would run fairly well on quite a lot of laptops as well. Interesting ideas on how to improve the economy, so we'll lose a bit of gold. And they've actually replaced this event with, oh no, well, yeah, I think you still do get percentage events. This is a technology spread percentage, like it spreads 100% faster, but in the more recent versions of the game, you also get events where you have the thing where you lose a bit of gold, but you actually get technology points as opposed to a spread rate. So we'll go adopt his ideas, because we can afford that. We'll actually just have a quick look at the tech tree as well. Now this siege is going alright. He is sieging where are we? Carrick over there, but that's not really that important. So we can get popular customs. Improved keeps is actually really useful. That one is one we will click. That lets me add extra stuff to my holdings, and popular customs we'll actually go with, because plus 10 city vassal opinion when I have a vassal republic, who is somewhere there, is actually quite useful. So we can actually mouse over, and it will say technology plus 6, so you get a technology bump basically. And that's true for all your vassal types, depending on what tech level, the 3 customs tech groups. I promise you my defense is riddled with disease. Okay. Well, there's probably a chance he'll just die of the disease, but on the other hand it might pop up and say, you can spend this money. Also, let's have a look at the succession. Now, they're all going for Magnus at the moment, my second son. There we go. Who can get married. Now, I was going to give him the Duchy of Ulster, and I think I will still do that. And because he's the main heir, that will then come back into the possession of the throne at some point. The family otherwise, Mace Windu's 12. This is going to be a bit of a problem when they all come of age, basically, because they'll all want land, but I don't have that much land to give out. So we'll find him a wife, and it would be nice to get someone with stats and a good claim, basically. Oh, the Duchess of Wallachia. Ooh. Now, that is going to be gold over here somewhere. I don't know, is it worth I mean, it's a bit out of the way. But, yeah, on the other hand, I could go with a princess of France. I could get an alliance with France. You know, that would be also useful. And she's only 2 years away from being of age as well. Hell, I could marry a princess of the Byzantine Empire, but they're a bit far away. Although her stats actually aren't terrible. She's got proud and deceitful, but... Oh, and craven. Martial stats aren't great, though. Where was she? Her stats aren't particularly great either. But a French alliance, we'll try that. A French alliance might be very, very useful. And, you know, historic. If you don't know about the old alliance, well... yeah, so it's one of the reasons why Scotland managed to remain independent for quite as long as it did. It was actually economics that did for Scotland in the end, rather than war or kind of political manoeuvrings. Although obviously there were a lot of political manoeuvrings involved with the union of the crowns, which, you know, it was a Scottish king taking over the English crown. A lot of people seem to forget that bit. But once the Acts of Union happened, everything kind of just moved south, I guess. But there's a lot of interesting history within Scotland itself that just gets overshadowed by our southern neighbour, basically. So yeah, we'll just... I could just, you know, literally... I've got a massive army here in comparison to this guy. I could just throw away men and assault the holding, and it would go a lot faster that way. But nah, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Requested to join the... Oh! He has. This would probably get me piety. I'm actually going to let him do it. I have got other sons. Yeah, sure, okay. That's quite interesting. Although he's still betrothed. But he's actually joined the Knights Templar, who have a barony in France. No, they don't. They have a... Well, okay, it pointed me at France, and then their actual barony is in Croatia. That is interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it pointed me at France, and then when their actual only landed titles in Croatia, but, well, okay then. So is that the Kingdom of... the Kingdom of Sicily's popped out, even though he's got... 2 provinces! What? How did you become King of Sicily with 2 provinces? I don't know, that's a bit silly. Anyway, mind you, silly, the Company of the Hat. Apparently this is a thing that happens often enough to Venice that it actually gets mentioned on the wiki, so even though I've never seen it before, it's apparently totally not unknown, although it might be harder these days with the more recent versions of the game. Anyway, Sieges won. They didn't even get through my first castle holding, so offer peace, and I can just disband that army, march these guys back to... Actually, we'll stick them in Moray for now, because if you stick them in a province that's suffering from disease, they actually, I think I'm right in saying, suffer from increased attrition, and there's probably a chance that the generals attached to them will die as well. So I now control the entirety of the Duchy of Ulster. I could actually start on the Duchy of Connaught as well, or is it Connaught? I can never know. I remember how you're supposed to say that. Yeah, we'll start on we'll just keep working our way down, because I need that Irish power base to be able to effectively take on England. Although the Civil War continues apace, and oh, so not only are Caption Guy, oh, you are in trouble. Not only is he defending against the Duke of Kent and a couple of other dukes for a war over the succession laws, he's also now facing a challenge for the crown itself, the Countess of Northampton, who is staking a claim on the throne. Oh my. Interesting, interesting. Things are afoot in England, and Caption Guy's life is about to get very interesting indeed. So, I will, I think, fast forward it once more. and we'll see if anything interesting happens. And if not, we might pass a year or two, and then I will just wrap up the video. So I shall see you on the flip side of the edit. So we've reached January 1128, and as you can see, England's still soldiering on, just about. We've also had the Duke of Athol throwing his weight away around again. He's actually declared war on Leinster. So yeah, now let's just look at his traits. This is particularly interesting. He's got the content trait. For a content guy, he seems to be declaring a lot of wars around the place. Anyway, so yeah, the realm's looking pretty stable right now. This is going to give me opportunities. I think come next episode we might try and do a bit more. We might shift our focus towards England a bit and see if we can't make some inroads there as well. Because if I could weaken the English power base, that would be really quite useful. But for now, as ever, you can leave any comments and suggestions below. You can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and as ever, stay tuned for more.